Okay, SMX medical update here. We bring in the good doctor, Joe McGinley. I want to talk about Seth Hamaker. Normally, we talk about bumps and bruises and those type of injuries with you. That's really where you specialize. But Seth has admitted we knew he had some sort of physical ailment the last couple of years of his career, which really hurt him outdoors. He has said now it is colitis. And what really surprised me, he told me personally at St. Louis, two motos make it tough. These are shorter races than outdoor motocross. It's not as hot. We'll be racing under the lights or under a roof like we did in St. Louis. But he said having the endurance for two motos to ramp it back up is a problem, and he needs to. He could win the whole thing this weekend. So, what do you know about colitis and how that could affect him?
Well, first, to be clear, this is not my specialty, but nonetheless, this is where we provide services to riders, or we can refer out. Ironically, one of the riders on our team was dealing with this as well, so I think it's probably more prevalent in the sport, but just people don't want to talk about it for obvious reasons. Now, for the fans listening out there, colitis can be in essentially one or two main categories. So you can have infectious colitis. That's where you get food poisoning. You're down for a few days. Obviously, it doesn't feel good. It's not comfortable. And you really can't do much for a day or two. That's infectious colitis, usually self-limited. It goes away on its own. The other type, more chronic, is inflammatory bowel disease, and there's typically two in that category: Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. And what these are inflammation of the colon, so that's your large bowel. It can get inflamed over time. That'll affect a number of things. One, it'll affect absorption of fluid and materials through the bowel, but you can get severe stomach pain. You can get fatigue. You're running to the bathroom quite a bit. Can be very problematic. Now, unfortunately, if you're in that category of inflammatory bowel disease or colitis, this gets worse with stressful situations. So if you're an athlete and you're out there trying to perform at a high level, this can be very problematic, both on the nutritional side of things, the uncomfort side of things, but also just the fatigue that's going to build up over time. So the more you're pushing, the longer the event, the more problematic this can become. And it can be not only distracting, but can affect performance. This is much more common than you would imagine in the sport, and it really can affect athletic performance.
Okay, so two questions on that front. One is the fatigue, a result of lack of absorption of nutrients? And also, what does treatment for this look like? You hear about your athlete on your supported team, they're getting treatment. I'm sure Seth Hamaker is trying to find ways to improve his condition as well. But how are some of the ways that they would basically find a temporary solution, at least on race day anyway?
Yeah, you have to stay hydrated, make sure your electrolytes are well maintained, make sure you're staying on top of it preventatively. You're absolutely right. There's a lot of new treatments out there. If you go to a GI specialist, there's lots of new medications out there that can sort of put you in a remission and put you in more to a chronic state. But then also working with the nutritionist, seeing if there's certain foods that'll irritate your bowel, see if there's other ways to get this under control. It's an inflammatory process. So just think your entire colon's inflamed, how uncomfortable that must feel. If your joint's inflamed, that's usually localized to one area, but if it's your bowel, that's going to make your whole abdomen not feel great. Again, there's going to be a lot of trips to the restroom in that situation. So it compounds upon itself. But maintaining your nutrition, proper hydration, that's going to be first steps, but working with the GI specialist, making sure they're putting you on the proper medications that work for you and put you in more to a chronic remission state.
All year long. Thanks for all the info. Once again, I've learned a ton of stuff that I didn't know before this interview began, so we appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, and good luck this weekend in Vegas.